Day 100 of Hey, what are you doing today? Day 100. So glad you made it. 100 days. 100 days. I guess if I ever, compare myself to other people would have accomplished a lot more in 100 days than I have. I'm well aware of that, but I'm not going to let that deter me in any way, shape, or form. In a way, it's one of those things. It's one of those tricks that my brain, I guess I can say our, because everything's kind of similar in some regards, but my brain, plays. Anytime I put myself up to a challenge of achievement, my brain will always play tricks on me. It's not a doubt. It's not anything like that. It's just it's a energy thing where I've invested 100 days. I can't physically put my hands on anything other than some minor weight loss. Well, not minor, but some not too extreme weight loss. My capacity to run faster and longer than I was at 100 days ago. But besides that, it's so much more of it is mental and learning and experiencing and seeing the world and just being a witness to the changes that I'm making in myself and with myself. One thing that was kind of intriguing to me was I reached day 100 and just subconsciously, not by a choice of mine or anything, but I got pushed back in the direction of researching business. After 100 days of kind of heavy internal soul searching and those kind of things, my perspective just somehow flipped randomly out of the blue back onto learning the technicalities of business. So it's kind of an intriguing thing that I put this out into the ether that these are my two goals: to be in a great physical shape and to have my own business by day 365, have it up and going and off the ground, and it's kind of interesting the way that this path has taken me, and it really does feel like there's another hand in it. There's another as I'm asking the ether is responding and showing me these different avenues and these different things, and it's all going to be at my pace. One thing I've learned from the little bit of studying Taoism is everything unfolds at an unhurried, natural pace, and it'll all come to me to a culmination. So that's kind of an interesting aspect of it, is that it's not something, I'm not being overly impatient with anything, but at the same time I have to battle this in the back of my head. At day 100, this is I thought it would be a good marker point, and not that it's a bad marker point, but it's just not kind of a real high water marker. It's 100 days. This is what I've achieved. I've maintained a healthier diet. I've lost weight. I have gotten much faster. Today, actually, I woke up and as I mentioned a couple of I guess yesterday, it's only been 2 days, but I get up now and I was debating about what to do with that morning time, and what I've been doing, oddly enough, is just kind of, sitting in silence and, going over my thoughts, maybe checking some things on my phone, that kind of stuff. And, the last 2 days I've gotten up and I've had a warm bottle, not warm, but room temperature bottle of water, which has kind of become a standard. Really helps with waking up. And I've also been drinking a little bit of a chilled coffee in the morning. But meanwhile, the last 2 days I've been listening to just motivational speeches, just things that people say. That I find a lot of great stuff on YouTube as far as that goes, and just sitting there just for a good 20-30 minutes, just getting hammered with do this, you got one shot, all that kind of stuff, and it gets me fired up. And I can't say it carries me through the day, but what it does do is, that's my wake up time, and that's, just before the run. Today I didn't have much energy to run, that's what I felt like, when I woke up, pulled myself out of bed. It was like, it's thinking I had a long run the day before, and I had a pretty intense run yesterday, and I got on a treadmill. But by the time I was done listening to all that stuff, I busted out 2 miles at 7 miles an hour, and I told myself, once I get to the 2 mile point, I'll drop down to 6.2 miles an hour and finish out the 20 minutes. It takes about 17 minutes to get to the 2 mile point at 7 miles an hour, so I figured I'd just drop down to 6.2, and I was kind of looking forward to that. Well, it got to be 2 miles, and I was like, all that stuff that had just bounced through my brain about, this is your chance, this is your opportunity to get one lifetime to achieve something. All that was still bouncing around my brain at 17 minutes. So instead of kicking it down to 6.2, I kicked it up to 7.5 and ran the last 3 minutes out at 7.5. I think in the end I got almost 2.5 miles. I think I didn't, wasn't paying attention to that point, but I actually got a little bit winded at that point, which I haven't had that in a while. But that's good. I mean, that's it's one of those things. It's one of those powerful things that I've picked up along the way. What I guess I really need to do is kind of reassess my daily tasks, get rid of some that are going by the wayside, and kind of strengthen some of the ones that I'm letting slip a little bit. I need to define a little bit more the tasks that I have for the next 100 days, and just keep things going. But it was just kind of interesting that now all of a sudden my brain is back onto listening about business and learning about business, which is something that initially that's what I really wanted to do, and then it took me down a little bit different path, and now I want to carry that path with me as well. But I'm back on this track, which I wasn't anticipating, wasn't expecting. I was kind of liking the way that the soul searching thing was going. But I've learned a lot, and I know a lot of angles that I need to work on. And now that I'm back and putting it in perspective of the business, I think that they're gonna run together. As I see things that I'll need to develop in myself as an entrepreneur, I'll also bounce those off the things that I know I need to practice on, as far as strengthening my emotions, or my spiritual, or my all those kind of things, my basic humanities. But it's funny how they all of a sudden, bam, day 100, they're back on this path, running side by side. It's kind of like, two runners going through the woods, and they one went off this way and didn't see the other runner. The whole time the other one, was out there somewhere, and now all of a sudden, bam, they're back on the same path. They've reconnected, and they're running at the same speed. I guess the other runner just had to pick up a couple things along the way before he met back up on the path. But I'm gonna go down that road now. It's day 100. The important thing is that I've got momentum. I've got quite a considerable amount of momentum. I mean, if by day 200 I have double this, I think I'll be in a good spot. And by day 300 I've triple this, and then I got 65 more days to go. I mean, it's pretty huge. So this is day 100. Hey, what are you doing today? Hey, what are you doing today? Thanks.